Hello, my viewers, favorite dear psychological realities. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll appreciate. Today we're talking about Mutumba Man and maybe bit of John Laughter, because these two men we've seen them assaulted by women or girlfriends, and it has not been easy on them, especially Mutumba Man. Mutumba Man, for those ones of you joining me and you are not from Kenya, Mutumba Man is a comedian and he's a bit famous or is famous. And if you want to know a lot of the story, just go on social media. He was assaulted by the girlfriend, and we saw how much he was. We saw the intensity of the damage that was done to that young man. We saw the blood. We saw he was limping. It has not been easy for him. And if you ask me, this is gender-based violence. And you know, in African community, men don't talk about it. When they're assaulted, they don't talk about it. It's only your laughter I saw that you could talk about it. But again, in the comments, people are not taking him serious because he's a man and the one who was doing this was a woman. And if the case was vice versa, people will have gone for John Laughter. If it was John Laughter assaulting the lady, people will have gone for him. And even if it was Mutumba Man assaulting the girlfriend, people will have gone for him. In fact, at the moment, he will be behind bars. And you see, some of these African men or young men, they come from families whereby they were taught values. They don't fight women. Sometimes I sit and wonder, because I have two brothers whom I love very much, and they're not violent people. Now, suppose they get to marry people who are assaulting them, because you've seen very many men die in the hands of women. Because when men are suffering, they suffer in silence. Very few will come out to talk about it. What should we do as a society? Because our uncles, our fathers, our brothers, our cousins are suffering out here. The boy child is suffering out here in the hands of women. And when they talk about it, they become a laughing stock. Because of that masculinity, boys have been told that you're not supposed to talk. And when they talk, people laugh at them. You need to see these people in the village, the ones that are beaten by wives, or in the cities, or in the estates. They have nowhere to hide their head. Because when they are walking, people will be pointing at them. This one is beaten by the wife. This one is beaten by the wife. And you know, some of them, they don't know how to fight. They don't know how to they don't know how to beat women. I know that men out here who are always assaulting women. I've seen these cases very many times. I've handled some of the cases very many times in my neighborhood, or in church, and some of them even from friends. But again, as a society, we are supposed to come to our senses and know that boy child is dying in silence. Some of them have been called, some of them are, as I'm talking to, some of them are impotent. They were not born like that, but it was caused by some lady somewhere, in the name of wife or girlfriend. Some of them at the moment have disability, which they were not born with. It was acquired in form of a girlfriend or a wife. My viewers, what do you think can be done? Because I thought it was in Kenya alone, but I've seen it in South Africa, I've seen it in Nigeria, I've seen it in Ghana, I've seen it in Uganda here, I've seen it in Tanzania. It is like this thing is happening all over. But in African society, it is becoming very worse. And boy child are left alone. Even if you go to the police station to report and you are a man, those men will laugh at you. And they'll ask the man, eh, why didn't you beat that woman? And the same man, if they beat that woman, they'll be sent to jail. There is a case I was handling from an elderly man who was saying he just needed an advice before he kills someone. Because this woman had come in, the man had 83 wives, and when she had the first wife, he admits that the first wife was one of the best wives. But the mistake he did, he was so lustful, and he brought in the second wife and the third wife. Unfortunately, the second wife died, and when he brought in the third wife was very violent to him, and now the first wife started suffering from cancer. And on the sick bed, she kept on cursing the man and telling him that you are going to suffer. And now, after the death of this man, of this wife, of the first wife, the man even didn't have a home to go, because now the last wife was remaining. That was never a home. It was like a slaughterhouse or a den of beatings. The wife was literally beating him. The young wife, a very a very young wife. And sometimes as a therapist, when these people, when they're coming to you, you can't you can't you can't tell their friend what is happening to them, because it is happening to them and they cannot share with their friends, they can't share with their relatives, they can't share with their brothers. They just want to share with someone who is very far away from their home, someone who can keep their secrets, and maybe the person will never meet the family. And that's how serious it is. This was a very old man, but he was being assaulted by a very young wife. The wife had chased him even from home. And anytime he comes at home, he's beaten. The glasses can be broken on even on his head. Anywhere she decided to throw the glass or the cup, it will just happen. The other day we saw John Laughter's girlfriend break a bottle on his head. He fell down. He was bleeding, and the lady didn't even care. She cared less. And most of the fans who are watching that thing happen, because it's something we saw happen. It was not like it was something that was scripted. When she came in with the drama, they decided to video everything. And all the time we could see John Laughter running away from the girlfriend, because she could come with the stick, with the stones. And eventually she just waited. When John Laughter was a bit relaxed, she just took the bottle and slapped the bottle on his head. And you've seen the girl assault him over and over again. Hmm? What should we do? Because it is happening under our nose. Boy child is suffering in silence. And those who come out to talk about it, they are seen as weakly. They are seen as people who don't have strength. They are seen people who are useless, people who cannot fight for themselves. Yet some of these people, they come from a family whereby there was no violence. They don't know anything violent. Pastors, ministers of God, the government, village elders, we need to do something and protect boy child. I'm not saying that we don't have to protect a girl child. I don't support any kind of violence. People should just learn to be human. Just be human to everyone. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll appreciate.